You guys are going to love my crispy chicken katsu bowls. They're so delicious. So I start with the chicken. You just marinate it in a little bit of soy sauce, some sesame oil, and green onions. Then you want to bread it through some panko breadcrumbs and sesame seeds and pan fry it in some oil until it is nice and crispy. It is so delicious. Trust me, you guys are going to love it. Then I do a little bit of stir-fried edamame with some soy sauce. That's also delicious and kind of addicting. Then a creamy spicy sauce. And from here, all you want to do is assemble. I like to do a little cucumber salad, and then of course lots and lots of rice, that crispy chicken katsu, and everything else is totally up to you. I do avocado cucumber salad, that creamy sauce, and green onions on top. It is so good.
I firmly believe the absolute best way to cook salmon is in the air fryer. It is incredibly easy. I will not cook salmon any other way now. All I do is really lightly coat it with some Dijon mustard and pretty heavily with some Old Bay, which is a awesome standalone seafood seasoning. It goes in my air fryer like this for about 5 minutes, and then I flip it over. It goes in for about another 10, and then I top it with some garlic butter and lemon juice. It's so good. If you guys try this, tag me and let me know what you think.
Last night for dinner, we had these buffalo chicken tacos, and my whole family loved them. These really did turn out to be so good, and most of the actual cooking takes place in the crock pot, so they're also easy to make. To make them, just grab your crock pot, throw in about a pound of chicken breast, and season that with the seasonings I've got listed below. Next, you're going to throw in a diced onion, a tablespoon of minced garlic, and about a half cup of buffalo sauce. Then just do your best to spread everything out, add the lid to your crock pot, and let it cook on low for about 4 hours. Once your chicken's cooked, just shred it up with a couple of forks and pour in another half cup of buffalo sauce. Now that our chicken's ready, let's make the tacos. Just melt a couple tablespoons of butter in a skillet over medium heat. Then you're going to place down some white corn tortillas and top those with some freshly shredded mozzarella. Put yourself a good scoop of that buffalo chicken right in the center of each taco. Then just let those cook for a couple minutes on each side or until they got that perfect golden color. I finish these off with some dried cilantro over the top, but if you're one of those people that thinks cilantro tastes like soap, you could skip that part.
This simple, sweet, and spicy salmon is my grilling go-to of the summer. It's the perfect, easy recipe to make for dinner or any barbecue. You'll start by chopping whatever vegetables you have on hand. I did zucchini, bell pepper, and red onion. Then add the veggies and salmon to an aluminum foil packet. Season with olive oil, brown sugar, garlic powder, oregano, chili powder, salt, and pepper. Rub it into the salmon and toss the veggies with it. Next, wrap up the packets, and you can either grill at 400 degrees or bake at 400 degrees for 15 to 20 minutes. The salmon comes out so delicious and perfectly flaky. You have to try out this recipe.
Creamy Tuscan chicken is one of my favorite meals to eat and to make, so let me show you how to make it. I like to start off by butterflying my chicken and then seasoning it with some salt, a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of onion powder, some paprika, some oregano, and a bit of black pepper as well. I'm just measuring with the heart with this one. From here, I'm just going to heat a pan with some sun-dried tomato oil. This is really what's going to start building those flavors for us. And then just a drizzle of olive oil as well. Once that comes up to heat, we're going to go ahead and lay down our chicken and sear on both sides. While our chicken's cooking, let's go ahead and prep our veggies. This recipe has really simple ingredients. We're just going to split some cherry tomatoes in half and then cut 1 whole shallot or a half of an onion, whatever you have on hand, and crush a few cloves of garlic as well. We're also going to need an entire bag of spinach for this recipe, and don't forget to wash your veggies. Once our chicken has nice color on both sides, we're going to remove that from the pan and toss in our shallots as well as our garlic. Go ahead and let these cook for about 3 to 5 minutes until they get nice and aromatic. For a fun addition, I like to add some mushrooms to this dish. They lend themselves really well to the tomatoes and the wine. Speaking of wine, we're going to deglaze the bottom of our pan with some dry white wine before tossing in our cherry tomatoes, and I like to add some of those chopped sun-dried tomatoes as well. Totally optional, but I like to add in some red pepper flakes at this point, as well as a little bit more oregano before pouring in about 1.5 cups of heavy cream. Go ahead and let this simmer and let all the flavors get to know each other before tossing in your spinach. I made a mistake and put my chicken back into the pan at this point, and as you can see, I took it out. So just toss in your spinach first, let those get to know each other, let the spinach wilt down a little bit, add in some Parmesan cheese, and then we're gonna tuck our chicken back into the sauce. Once you get your chicken nestled back in, we're going to let this cook for another 5 to 10 minutes, either on the stovetop or in the oven, and let the sauce get nice and thick and creamy. We're going to squeeze some lemon over top to brighten up the dish, and then serve with some mashed potatoes or polenta or rice, but you cannot skip the crusty bread to soak up all of that sauce. I hope you enjoy.
How the hell did it take me all summer to come up with the best zucchini recipe of all time? We're going to start by grating 2 large zucchini and putting it in a cheesecloth to get all the moisture out. I mean, this is probably the most satisfying step of everything. Anyway, I digress. We wanted to taste the juice.
I like it. Oh, it's nice. It's refreshing.
Tastes like the garden. Yeah, it kind of tastes like the garden in my opinion. Anyway, back to the recipe. So chop up 1 large red onion. You're going to saute it in a pan, and that takes a while. So that's why I'm doing it now. And then while that's sauteing, I'm going to chop up chives and grate a ton of parm. Measure with your heart. You know the drill. Keep sauteing the onion. Add the garlic when it's like 10 minutes from being done. Then crack 6 eggs into a bowl. You're going to whisk it all together. Once you have them combined, you're going to add your parm and your chives. And this is like the base batter of the meal. It's so delish. Keep going. Add salt and pepper too, which I didn't show on camera. And the zucchini, of course. And then the sauteed onion and garlic. You want to mix it really well. That was a teaspoon of baking soda. Super important to make it fluffy. And then you bake it at, 375 until it's done. And yeah.
This dinner is quick, delicious, and you only need to buy 5 things to make it. Start by heating up your ground beef or ground turkey in a skillet and boil a pot of water. Once your water is boiling, you'll add in some tortellini. Cook according to the package. Shred up some mozzarella cheese. I have this linked on my Amazon storefront, mealsandmunchies.com. You'll then season your meat, salt, pepper, Italian seasoning, and a little bit of crushed red chili flakes. Drain it, add a jar of marinara sauce, and 1 block of cream cheese. Once that's well combined, add in your cooked tortellini. Top this with your mozzarella cheese and bake for 10 minutes at 350 degrees. And follow me for more recipes.
If you think chicken and rice is boring and bland, you have to try making this Nando's copycat peri peri chicken and rice. Also, did I mention it's a 1-pan recipe, so cleanup is super easy. Start up by marinating the chicken thighs in some olive oil, chili powder, garlic powder, black pepper, smoked paprika, cumin, and salt. Sear it in a pan on both sides, and then you're going to baste it with some medium peri peri sauce if you don't like it too spicy. To the same pan, add some butter and then saute some garlic, red bell pepper, and tomato paste. Toast the rice, and then you're going to add your chicken broth along with a bunch more spices. Cover to let it cook to perfection, and then we're going to add our peas and cilantro and mix that all together. Finally, add the chicken back on top, and all that's left to do now is enjoy.